Peace, 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 family. Sister Victoria X here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to our morning reading. We are still in the book by Mike Murdock, the Law of Recognition. And we have been having a good time. We finally moved on and moved up to the next chapter, which is chapter 20. And as always, if you'd like to get notified when we go live, go ahead and text Healthy Hue, all caps, no space, to 77948 so that when we go live and do these kind of readings, you'll receive the notification. You'll probably get some early accesses to some products that I have coming down the line. And speaking of products, don't forget to register for the Canva class on Friday. We are having a Canva masterclass. If you're someone that's new in business, or you're just trying to figure, or you're just figuring things out in business, Canva class is going to be very, very essential. Especially if you don't have a graphic design background, Canva is going to allow you to create those lead magnets, create those digital products. It's also going to allow you to create content. So if you are someone that's new in business, Assalamu alaikum, family. If you are someone that is new in business, you should definitely sign up for the Canva Masterclass so that you can start creating your products and creating your, wa alaikum salam, creating your lead magnets so that you can start everything off right. And if you don't want to create either of those, you definitely needed to create your content on social media. So go ahead and click the link in my bio or go to sistervictoriax.com and sign up for Friday's Canva Masterclass. It will be the first button in my bio. Moving on and moving forward, uh, as always, we are doing our reading this morning, and in true fashion, I will be doing the reading first, and then a commentary will come at the end because I know and understand that everybody does not really care for my commentary. So we want to honor those that just want to be here for the reading, and we're going to do it like that. So, we are reading The Law of Recognition by Mike Murdock, discovering the gifts, opportunities, and relationships that God has already placed in your life. And we are currently on chapter 20, Recognition of a Fool. The wise recognize fools. Fools are everywhere. There are fools in the educational system, in the world of religion, in the political arena, and even among your relatives. Fools break your focus. Fools waste valuable time and energy. Fools slow your life down. Fools rob you of precious moments. I mentioned a statement by former President Richard Nixon in one of my books, Secrets of the Richest Man Who Ever Lived. He commented that Iacocca, Iacocca, the legendary leader of Chrysler, had one major problem: no tolerance for fools. Nixon further explained that his attitude created two more problems. First, there are so many fools, and second, some people that you think are fools really are not. 43 important facts you should know about fools. 1. A fool is anyone who despises wisdom, instruction, and correction from a proven mentor. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 1 and 7. 2. A fool is anyone who attempts to destroy the reputation of a proven champion through lying and misrepresentation. He that uttereth a slander is a fool. Proverbs 10 and 18. 3. A fool is anyone who refuses to depart from evil even though corrected. But it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. Proverbs 13 and 19. 4. A fool is anyone who does not take the danger of sin seriously. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. Proverbs 14 and 9. 5. A fool is anyone who reveals confidences that should be kept private. Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding, but that which is in the midst of fools is made known. Proverbs 14 and 13. A fool is any son that disregards the wisdom of his father. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regretteth reproof is prudent. Proverbs 15 and 5. A fool is any son who shows disrespect towards the mother that brought him into the world. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. Proverbs 15 and 20. 8. A fool is anyone whose conduct does not change even after experiencing painful consequences from it. A reproof entereth more into a wise man than an 100 stripes into a fool. Proverbs 17 and 10. 9. A fool is anyone who considers any pursuit of wisdom to be a wasted effort. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? Proverbs 17 and 16. 10. A fool is anyone who continually expresses his discontent with God. The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Proverbs 19 and 3. 11. A fool is anyone who refuses to embrace peace. It is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. Proverbs 20 and 3. 12. A fool is any man who spends more money than he is willing to earn for his family. There is a treasure to be desired in oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. Proverbs 21 and 20. 13. A fool is anyone who creates his own belief system contrary to the word of God. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. Proverbs 28 and 26. 14. A fool is anyone who refuses to pay his debts. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it. For he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldn't not vow than thou shouldn't vow and not pay. Ecclesiastes 5, 4 through 5. 15. A fool is anyone who makes financial increase his life focus rather than God. But God said unto him, Thou fool, this night that thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layereth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. Luke 12, 20 and 21. 16. A fool is someone who wants something he has not yet earned. Ahab's wife, Queen Jezebel, was also a fool. Her husband's bitter words concerning the man with the vineyard angered her heart. Why? She wanted something she had not earned yet. She had not yet earned. 17. A fool that keeps silent often remains undetected. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. Proverbs 17:28. 18. A fool is always at the center of strife and contention. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Proverbs 18, 6 through 7. 19. Any companion to fools will ultimately be destroyed. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a champion of fools shall be destroyed. Proverbs 13 and 20. 20. The wise always leave the presence of fools when they perceive a lack of desire for knowledge. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in his lips the lips of knowledge. Proverbs 14 and 7. 21. Liars are fools. He that hideth hatred with lying lips is a fool. Proverbs 10 and 18. A liar destroys his trustworthiness with a single sentence. He will trade a lifetime relationship for a single falsehood. Without a doubt, he is a fool. 22. A fool is usually only changed by correction during his childhood. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. Proverbs 22 and 15. A fool cannot be changed through counsel. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Proverbs 23 and 9. A fool should never be given a position of leadership over others. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. Proverbs 24 and 7. In the ancient days, the wise elders of the city met at the gates of the city. Fools were never welcomed or given position of influence there. 25. The continuous threat of pain is the only influence that keeps a fool in his place. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Proverbs 26 and 3. A fool who is trusted ultimately 26. A fool who is trusted ultimately destroys those who trusted him. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. Proverbs 26 and 6. 27. A fool remains unaffected or changed by any wisdom he quotes from others. The legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. Proverbs 26 and 7. 28. A fool, when given a position of honor or power, becomes deadly to those within his influence. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. Proverbs 26 and 8. 29. Every fool will eventually taste the consequence of his attitude and rebellion. The great God that formed all things both rewarded the fool and rewardeth transgressors. Proverbs 26 and 10. 30. A fool is someone who makes the same mistakes repeatedly. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Proverbs 26 and 11. A fool uses his 31. A fool uses his anger to threaten to create problems for others. A stone is heavy and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Proverbs 27 and 3. 32. A fool exposed is more destructive than wild animals disturbed. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. Proverbs 17 and 12. 33. No amount of wisdom or counsel can create a peaceful relationship with a fool. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Proverbs 29 and 9. 34. A fool tells everything he knows and feels to others. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. Proverbs 29 and 11. 35. A fool talks too much and is known by his torrent of words. A fool also is full of words, and man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him who can tell him. Ecclesiastes 10 and 14. A fool's voice is known by multitude of words. Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. 36. A fool never believes that he is wrong. Keep their foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil. Ecclesiastes 5 and 11. 37. The parents of a fool will live in sorrow their entire lifetime. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. Proverbs 17 and 21. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bear him. Proverbs 17 and 25. 38. Any atheist is a fool. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Psalms 14 and 1. See also Psalms 53 and 1. 39. A fool does not learn from his observation, nor experiences enough to make changes. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. Proverbs 17 and 24. 40. Any conversation with fools should be avoided. Association is defiling. Correction is useless. Solomon understood this. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Proverbs 26 and 14. 26 and 4. He refused to enter into any relationship or conversation. 41. A fool perpetuates his offenses to others around him. He wants others to feel his pain. He arouses an army of protesters against someone who offended him rather than exhibiting a desire to settle the offense. A fool refuses to admit his mistakes even when his pain is the obvious result. 43. A fool refuses to reach for counsel from accessible champions. When I heard several complaints over financial problems, I offered to pay the registration to the Uncommon Millionaires Conference. I brought in 6 multimillionaires to advise on financial blessing for 3 days. Those who had been complaining of their finances never even attended the 21 hours of teaching at the conference, though some live less than 5 minutes away. Recognition of a fool will enable you to avoid 1,000 heartbreaking experiences in your life. And that is the conclusion of chapter 20, Recognition of a Fool, inside of the book, The Law of Recognition by Mike Murdock, discovering the gifts, opportunities, and relationships that God has already placed in your life. Okay. And that will conclude the reading. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our commentary. If you would like to get notified when we go live, go ahead and text Healthy Hugh, all caps, no space, to 77948. Also, tag your friends and share this out so that more people can be able to tune into these readings. Um, and I appreciate your time. Don't forget to sign up for the Canva class. Go ahead and click the link in the bio. And for those of you, I'm seeing some different names, some new names in here. My name is Sister Victoria X. I'm a work from home transition coach. I help women, specifically mothers and wives, transition into working from home by helping them to set up systems and schedules inside of their home and business that will allow them to set a proper foundation for their business so that they can achieve success in both home and business. And so we're gonna go ahead and get into the commentary. I'm gonna welcome the people. Okay. Peace. I am Ramadan, Sister Kiana, Ambitious Queen, Mama Tia, Queen Venus, and I am Christina. Let me see. I saw y'all up in the chat. Peace. Thank you for sharing this. Praise be to Allah. I love morning readings. Yes, yes. These are diamond. I peace, sis. Sending you the vibes I was sent. Thank you, sis Taylor. Taylor, thank you, thank you. So, um, golly, this is a good title. But the thing that sorry about that, my phone was trying to disappear on us. But the thing about this chapter that's so interesting is that, like, as I was reading through the list of things, and it's so easy to be a fool, right? It is so, like, some of these things are big but not really big. They like small but big. And so, like, at any moment in time, if we don't continue to watch, guard, and check ourselves and continue to reflect on ourselves and continue to build on ourselves, we can be caught being a fool at any moment in time. And that's why self-improvement is so, so, so important, right? Because we don't ever want someone to catch us in a moment where we're being a fool by accident, because we haven't spent enough time with ourselves to check ourselves and always be mindful of how we behave and how we interact with people, right? So it says, the wise recognize fools. Fools are everywhere. There are fools in the educational system, in the world of religion, in the political arena, and even among your relatives, right? So then he goes in to talk about his friend that Okay. He talked about his friend that had that was the leader of Chrysler, and he had no tolerance for fools, right? And then he said that the President Nixon said that that's going to create two problems when he had no tolerance for fools. And one was that there are so many fools, and second, so many people that you think are fools are really not, right? And so that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's so many ways to be a fool. So we just have to be extremely mindful of, again, the people that we keep around us and how we interact with them and how we allow them to be in our space. It says that recognition of a fool will enable you to avoid 1,000 heartbreaking experiences in your life. It's sometimes it's really not you, right? And we will get caught up in heartbreak. We will get caught up in depression. We will get allow our confidence to be shifted because we interacted with a fool for too long. We didn't know that they were a fool, and once they start acting foolish, we think it's our fault when it has nothing to do with us, right? And so the importance of recognizing a fool is just that. You take you stop making yourself responsible for stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you, right? And if we're being self-accountable, it has something to do with you to the point that you should have been able to recognize it. Okay? These little red flags that people be giving, these signs that people be giving, you should have been able to recognize that. But it is not your fault that someone operates in foolishness. So then it gets to talking about a fool tells everything he knows and feels to others. Stop. Somebody that's always running their mouth, you need to steer clear because soon they're going to be running their mouth about you. They always got to tell you how they feel. They always got to one up you. They always got to make themselves the center of the conversation when you telling them about something that you're grieving about. Those one up people, those people where you telling them something and all of a sudden they got this magical story from 6 years ago that happened to be around the same thing, but don't really fit the situation. That's a fool. So now that you know and recognize that they are foolish, stop letting them get you upset. I used to hate when people do that, right? And nowadays I still might, get caught rolling my eyes a little bit. But I can't stand a person that always got to make the conversation, situation, interaction about them. Especially when they're dealing with people that are in a current need, like they're going through something currently that they need some encouragement about. I can't stand that, right? But it's easier not to get upset when you know, okay, that's foolish behavior, right? That's a fool. So why would I ever get myself caught up arguing with a fool? Because look, because it says that a fool never believes that they are wrong. So why would I argue with a person that can't even see that they are wrong? Even if you spell it out. Look, it even goes on to say that they can't even admit that they're wrong, even when they're currently dealing with the consequences of being wrong. So, what do we really look like arguing with foolish people about something when we one know they will never admit that they're wrong, even if their current situation is the consequence of them being wrong. So that's why we can't just be arguing with people that we know when people are foolish. That one person that's always the dampering spirit, they come in a room and all of a sudden the energy shift, right? Assalamu alaikum, sis. All of a sudden the energy shifts. All of a sudden there's tense energy everywhere. They always the center of the drama. They always dispersing the dramatic information. That's a fool, right? And they do these things, and there's no way for us to be able to tell them that they are wrong because they don't admit that they're wrong. So that is the downfall to trying to argue with someone that's foolish. You got to leave them to their foolishness and go on about your business. Because there's nothing that you can say to them that's going to make them feel like they're wrong or that they need to change something. So why waste your precious time? And then it goes on to say, no amount of wisdom or counsel can create a peaceful relationship with the fool. No matter how many times you bite your tongue, no matter how many times you give them a pass for being disrespectful, no matter how many times you sit back and just watch situations unfold, there is no way to create a peaceful relationship with somebody that's a fool. This is so factual, it is astounding. Praise be to Allah, right? There is no way to create a peaceful relationship with a fool because relationships are about give and they're about take. Good relationships are about the ability to exist with someone and correct them when they're wrong. But fools don't recognize when they're wrong. So you can't create peace in that. Where you always got to bite your tongue, where you always got to hold your feelings back because you know they won't be considered or accounted for. So why would you put yourself in a position to even want to be in a peaceful relationship with someone that's a fool? And then it goes on to talk about how a fool cannot be changed through counsel, no matter how much sense you make. You could draw them a diagram, you could play them an audio book, you can give them a book. You could have them draw something out, touching all the little areas of how people learn, and they're gonna be a fool. They cannot be changed through your words at all. Some of them fools, and it even talks about how, they can be going through trial because of their foolishness and they won't change. Some of them, their core foundation gonna have to be rocked and shattered for them to consider to change. Because some people, I don't want to say they're foolish, not by knowledge, because some of this stuff is just like, okay, okay, now you trying it. Okay. I want y'all to tag your friends and share this out. Go ahead and text Healthy Hugh, all caps, no space, to 77948 to get notified when we do our readings. Right? But sometimes they don't know. But when we get to talking about they can't be changed through counsel, that's why you got to walk away when they in their foolishness, because no matter what you say, it's not going to change them. If anything, it's going to change you, because you finna step out of character in a minute if they keep acting like they don't know what you're talking about. You ever been talking to somebody and you been saying something so basic, so simple, and it's like, how could you not understand? And at this point, I feel like you being disrespectful because you acting like you don't understand something, and I've been told you 4 and 7 different ways, right? So when we continue to have conversations with fools and we continue to try to change them with our words, we are the ones that end up getting pulled out of character because they're not gonna change. And they got every reason, every excuse, every explanation for why their foolishness is okay. I don't give a dang what you do. You will be wasting your time. You see this right here, this wall, you're gonna be talking to this wall right here. Unmoving, unshifted. Right? So stop wasting your time talking to foolish people. Foolish people are liars. A fool is usually only changed by correction during his childhood. Like if you talking to a 40-year-old fool, just go on about your business. Now, I will say this. I don't tolerate that whole language when we get to talk about, oh, that's just Shirley. That's just how Shirley is. Well, Shirley gonna have to be somewhere else and be like that. Cause I'm still gonna have to say what I need to say to let you know that this is wrong. I don't care if you've been doing it 6 or 7 years. That's just how I operate. Because sometimes when you allow people to operate like that for so long, the reason why they feel like it's okay, because ain't nobody told them it was wrong. You've been saying that's this Shirley for 30 years. And ain't nobody told Miss Shirley it was wrong. So you could tell a fool that what they doing is wrong and out of order and leave it at that. You don't have to go back and forth about it. But in my mind, you got to put it on their mind. You got to let them know that this is not okay. Cause I don't take torture and all that stuff for free. No. I understand that this is your trauma, this is what you've been dealing with, but I am not going to be an accomplice to your crime. If you ugly and you nasty to people, I'm not going to be the one that you're going to be ugly and nasty with. Cuz you done been here too many years to not have some kind of control. And then we get to talking about every fool will eventually taste the consequences of his attitude and rebellion. A fool is someone who repeatedly makes the same mistakes repeatedly. That goes back to insanity. The only way that you can make the same mistake over and over again is if you're doing the same thing over and over again. Okay, I won't say the only way, but most of the time. Yes, ma'am, it's not worth it to be around them people and allow their ignorance to take over. No, ma'am, you got to get up out of Dodge. You got to get out of there. Right? A fool uses his anger to threaten to create problems for others. That blackmailing energy. When you don't tell them what they want to hear, or they don't, or what they're expecting from you, they get big mad and start trying to threaten to tarnish your relationship. I mean, tarnish your image, right? And then it even goes into it's talking about how where did it talk about? It was talking about how fools will try to tarnish your reputation. There we go. A fool is anyone who attempts to destroy the reputation of a proven champion through lying and misrepresentation. Now, just because you didn't put all the facts in there and everything you said could have been true without the right view, then you a liar and you are foolish for trying to misrepresent and manipulate the facts. Right? He that uttereth a slander is a fool. You can speak the truth and not be slanderous to people. We have to really learn how to stop putting our mouth on people. And that means talking about them. If you talking about anyone in a negative way, then we got to stop that. Unless, I don't want to say unless, let's just put it right there because some of y'all going to take that and try to twist and turn it. So, a fool is anyone whose conduct does not change even after experiencing painful consequences from it. And we talked about that earlier. And that's it. Um, Oh, and then this is the last one. Any conversation with fools should be avoided. Stop talking to foolish people. It's a waste of time, I promise you. You ain't gonna get nothing out of that conversation. You ain't gonna get nothing out of that interaction, but some stress and you acting a fool, being pulled out of your element, right? And so that's the end of the commentary and the reading for chapter 20 inside of The Law of Recognition by Mike Murdock. I really enjoyed this. If you made it this far on the replay, go ahead and hit hashtag replay in the comments. Tag your friends, share this out. And as always, text Healthy Hue, all caps, no space, to 77948 if you would like to get notified when we go live. And I'm actually sending out the link to register for the Canva class to that number. So if you are interested in the Canva class, a lot of people have been asking me for this class for weeks. And so we're going to go, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and do the Canva class. And so I'm going to be texting that out today. Go ahead and get on the text list. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a discount code, but I'm not sure. So don't hold me to that because I just feel like it's already like pennies. So, yep, I did with one. Got to find the other so I can see those communications too. Yes, ma'am. And go ahead and don't forget to register for Saturday's transition masterclass, where I'm literally going to be giving you tips and tools that you can implement in your life and in your business so that you can set the proper foundation for success in home and business, not one without the other. So I appreciate you all for coming in, locking arms with me this morning. And I hope to see you all back tomorrow for the rest of our reading. So enjoy the rest of your day. Peace, family.